Hello, it's Shams the Man Comic. How you doing? Are you surviving? Are you stockpiling? Where have you been stockpiling? Have you been stockpiling bug rolls? Because that's what's going on around ours. People are going crazy. I didn't realize people crap so much, man. Wow, you know when people say, "Oh, you're full of crap, man." Well, guess what? Brummies are full of crap. Oh, they need their toilet roll. Oh, they're stockpiling the toilet roll. Oh, it's gonna be a fire hazard, isn't it? Imagine that. They just sat there in their bogs, just like a bog, just stockpiled with loads and loads of like bog rolls, and then they have a fag afterwards to get rid of the smell, and then they set fire to everything. That'd be terrible, wouldn't it? Oh God, someone's died within the first 40 seconds of this podcast. It's gone wrong. This is why I've stopped podcasting so much, because I keep saying horrible things. But anyway, like people have been saying to me, maybe they haven't actually. Why have you stopped Project Mayhem? Now, like there's a health crisis. I don't know if you've heard. WHO, the World Health Organization, they're saying there's a global pandemic. I don't like the sound of that. Global pandemic. Sounds like something out of a disaster film, doesn't it? But there is a disaster. There's people actually passing away, and I don't want to be part of any of that. So what I've decided to do is put Project Mayhem comedy on hold, not terminated like I put on a previous podcast. I just like using the word terminated because I love Arnold Schwarzenegger. Maybe I should stop saying terminated so much. Upsets people. It's on pause, right? Until the Who, not the band, Pinball Wizard. Remember that song? I don't know the words. Pinball Wizard. Yeah, it's not them lot. It's the World Health Organization. I trust these people because they use something called evidence-based research. Anyone else a fan? And then the NHS as well. Like, when you're poorly. Actually, now the NHS have given up on us, haven't they? They go, don't come to our GPs if you're feeling poorly. No, you're going to infect us and kill us as well. Don't come to our hospitals because you're infected probably. Just stay at home. Just stay at home and pass away. I mean, it's a great advice. Great advice. I mean, the government, they pretended it wasn't happening in China, and now they're telling us, oh yeah, it's time for strategy. They've got the Cobra meeting. I wish I was at these Cobra meetings. Well, they said, remember we told you 3 weeks ago there's a virus outbreak in China. Maybe we should do something to protect the citizens. And they must have said, stuff it. Just leave it. What else are we doing? Oh, we've got this new dead pig in the dining room. Go on, Johnson, go sort that out. I think that's what happened. So like now they're thinking, oh, maybe we should do something about it. And here's their plan. Just get older adults that are susceptible, the ones that kind of built this country. Just get them to sit at home on their own. Don't let anyone visit them because they've got compromised immune systems. Just get them to sit alone. I mean, it's a cure, isn't it? I mean, what there's not right. So that's that. Yeah, there's been lots of cases. So anyway, like I was saying, I've paused it, and then when I feel right, when I've done my reading, or if someone sends me a convincing WhatsApp video that the pandemic is over, then I can start again. I just can't perform knowing that these people around me, one of them might get infected because everybody's got like kids around them, or older adults, and they said that, if you haven't got a compromised immune system, then you could be a carrier without even knowing it. You might have a slight sniffle, but then say you go see your dad, or your mum, or your nan if she's still with us, you could pass it on to her. Do you want to do that? Or to a kid? I can't do it. People call me heartless sometimes. I'm not heartless. I've got a conscience, man, and I can't perform. Well, I'll wait till this is done, and then we'll relight the fire of stand-up comedy. How's that, people? But right now, it's not looking good. I mean, they cancelled that Irish St. Patrick's Day parade. That's pretty serious, isn't it? I mean, they're cancelling things. I don't want to be. I think I've laboured the point. But have you been stockpiling people? Oh, it's pretty exciting, isn't it? The stockpiling. I've been watching it on the news. Have you been watching it? The Brummies are going after the Bogroll. Actually, it's a national, international thing. I wish I'd bought stocks in just Bogroll. People used to say, buy stock, Sham, they always go up and down, but you don't know what's going to happen. But in a pandemic, people literally start crapping themselves, and they need Bogroll. Lots of it, man. I mean, single men are buying like lorry loads of Bogrolls. I'd love to see the inside of the houses now. Imagine their bogs, just like a tiny bog, just stuck to the roof full of Bogroll. And they have a fag and they set fire to themselves. Yeah, but I've been thinking, I've not stockpiled anything. I've got like a bag. Well, before the crisis, I've been slowly working my way through some mixed vegetables because the doctors keep saying, I have mixed veg. So, like, I've got mixed veg, and my plan is, like, I'll just have, like, a teaspoon of mixed veg a day with some, like, water, because hopefully the water won't get shut down, because if we're in anarchy, it's anarchy now, isn't it? People have gone mad. So, like, and then I read that, in Rambo 3, have you seen it? It's a pretty bad movie. I mean, Sajid Lal likes it, but he's not very good. And in that, he was really big, right? And then they said that he only had a can of tuna and some bread. And that's all he had. It was burnt toast. Now, burnt toast sounds disgusting. A can of tuna on its own sounds disgusting as well. There's no mayonnaise because he wants to be big, doesn't he? But I think he's lying because he missed another essential ingredient, which was steroids in his bottom. I've come back. I've just sat alone. I can't perform anymore. What am I going to do? Oh, God. But anyway, I was thinking with regards to the Bogroll, right? These guys are a bunch of bloody amateurs, man. I mean, do you really need Bogroll, really, people? Do you really need Bogroll? Yes, you say. Well, I tend to disagree. I mean, would you rather not have a tree up rather than a dirty bottom? Wait up, people. I mean, these beautiful trees that have been chopped down to stick right up your jacksie, right? They're living beings. Apparently, they communicate with each other. Prince Charles, he tried to bang one once, didn't he? He called it Gloria, or maybe Camilla. Was she human? I don't know. I can't remember. I get confused sometimes, right? But they clean out carbon dioxide and turn it into oxygen. And what do we do to Mother Nature to say thanks for that? What we do is, right, we chop them down, right, and then stick them up our jacksies. It's unbelievable. I mean, when it comes to crisis point, and I bet you Boris Johnson won't do this, right, and there's a good reason I'm not in charge of this country or anything, right, it's what I'd advise is, right, I'd take off the hosepipe ban if there is one. Sorry, I don't keep up with current affairs. There was a hosepipe ban once in the 60s, wasn't there? I don't know, right? And I'd say, look, people, we need to get in this together, right? Just like wartime conditions, right? We need to fight, COVID-19 on our terms, right? So when we run out of Bogroll, what we need to do is to go into each other's gardens, right, and just crap in a litter tray, and then get your neighbour to like hose pipe your bottom clean. What do you think of that, people? Is that a good solution to the Bogroll crisis? I think it is. I've put a lot of thought into it. I mean, the disadvantages would be you're using an outside, tap, so the chances are it's going to be quite cold. But then I read this other thing, and he said that, if you have a cold shower, it increases the shivering of the human being, and that burns calories, and we're all worried about calories, aren't we? Oh, we can't be fat. Oh, no. Oh, no. I mean, even though it suits biology and, the more fat you carry, the longer you live in certain circumstances. But no, we can't be that. So we'll just have a line of your neighbours in your front garden, like crapping into little trays, and then you have to hose each other down every morning and every evening, depending on how much food they consume. Write in, people. Tell me what you think of this, this idea. I mean, I think it's a good idea. I mean, nobody in the government is, giving out this idea. But Shamsaman is brave enough to come up with a solution that not only saves the environment, the trees, right? But it also saves everyone's dignity as well, and increases social bonding. Because once you've gone through the process of stood in a front garden of Mavis with 100 other really embarrassed neighbours, right, having your bottom washed out, right, possibly filmed for blackmail purposes afterwards, what isn't going to, how is that community not going to get stronger together? Come on, England, let's do this. Right, bye.